No matter how you connect with Allstate, you're in good hands. That's because you can easily get a quote and find all our discounts at allstate.com or by calling 888-ALLSTATE. We make getting the right coverage quick and easy. No headache involved. Just our best auto price. Visit us online or give us a call. No matter how you connect with us, you're in good hands with Allstate. Discounts vary by state and are subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois. No matter how you connect with Allstate, you're in good hands. That's because we give you our best auto coverage at our best price, whether you go to allstate.com or call 888-ALLSTATE. We won't make you haggle for our best price like you do at a yard sale. We'll always offer it to you. Visit us online or give us a call. No matter how you connect with us, you're in good hands with Allstate. Prices vary, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to the Great Detectives of Old Time Radio from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. If you have a comment, email it to me, box13@greatdetectives.net. Give us a call. The number is 208-991-4783, and become one of our friends on Facebook, facebook.com/Radio Detectives. Today's episode is brought to you by the financial support of our listeners. Thank you so much for all of your support. And now it's time for today's episode of Barrie Craig, the last circulating episode we have, actually, of Barrie Craig. With one lost episode between last week's show and this week's show, it's time for Two Dead Men.
William Gargan stars as Barrie Craig, confidential investigator.
For that charge to cure that tired, listless feeling, apply to a switch artist named Max. Max, of course, being the state electrocutioner.
The National Broadcasting Company presents William Gargan in another transcribed drama of mystery and adventure with Barrie Craig, confidential investigator.
Barrie Craig speaking. Any formula for mixing dynamite is good enough, provided the end result is an explosion. What is the Craig formula for dynamite? Okay, 2 ingredients are required, namely, amateur tennis and the international social set. The result? Strictly dynamite. I had both ingredients wished on me one balmy summer's afternoon at the tennis matches. I was in the grandstand box under the candy-striped awning. Ah, life as she is lived. A tall iced drink in my hand and my hostess at my elbow. Said doll, an aging blonde, was Hilda Hobson, former screen star, very rich, very eccentric, and queen of the International Cafe Society.
Great, wonderful! Oh.
The tennis match in progress was the tournament championship finals. Kurt Kenny versus Bobby Blaine. Both lads as big in tennis as Rocky Marciano in boxing. The player, Kurt Kenny, was, oddly enough, husband to Hilda Hobson. I said oddly enough because the boy was 25, about half the age of his bride and my client. What was I doing in a twosome with Hilda Hobson? Watching her jewels. $250,000 worth of ice, as the lady herself explained it.
Oh, I wear my jewels to the tennis finals every year. It's traditional.
It's wicked. Hold still while I take inventory. By the by, who's winning out there?
Bobby Blaine's leading in the 5th set.
Kenny and Blaine won 2 sets apiece so far. This one's the rubber match.
Yes, Kurt's behind 4-love.
4-love meaning 4-0, 5th set. Looks like your hubby's chances for the championship is down the drain.
It does look hopeless for Kurt. Oh, well. Oh, played! Wonderful! Oh, wonderful.
What was played?
You're not watching the match.
I can't and also watch your duel.
Oh, and ace. Bobby Blaine just scored a beautiful service ace.
You sound like you're rooting Blaine in instead of Kurt Kenny.
Blaine is such a beautiful player.
Well, so is your husband.
Kurt? Kurt is past his peak.
Oh? What goes now?
They call time. Mr. Craig, will you please follow the game and stop asking me questions? I'm beginning to feel, well, heckled.
Time called meant a minute's pause. Time for the players to sponge their brows, swallow salt and energy tablets, guzzle soda pop kept in a handy ice bucket. I watched Kenny and Blaine return to the court. The only thing, there was no action. It was Bobby Blaine's service, but he wasn't serving. He was stalling, looking a bit wobbly in the knees.
Why doesn't Blaine serve?
I don't know. Ask me, he looks a little sick.
Sick? Good heavens, he just needs one more point for the game.
Blaine's down. He's flat on his face in the dirt.
Give me those binoculars. What? Blaine's just lying there.
Unconscious. I mean, if only unconscious.
If only unconscious.
The heart, m'lady. 5 grueling sets in a 90-degree heat, or are tennis players immune to heart attacks? In the emergency room, a quick complex of first aid and restoratives did nothing for the horizontal tennis player. A full-fledged doctor hadn't arrived yet. The tournament public relations man was doing emergency medical honors. A fidgety chap named Benton, Harry Benton. Say, if I could get closer to the patient a minute.
Why, sure, go ahead. Please stop crowding around, folks. Please, this isn't an exhibit. Well, mister?
Cancel the doctor call and call the morgue wagon.
Blaine is
very dead.
Blaine's heart, was it?
That was my guess right off. But I don't think so any longer.
You don't think so?
The rigidity of the face and the neck muscles.
Pretty horribly contorted.
Blaine died in agony.
What are you sniffing at?
A powdery residue around his lips.
Oh, that's the salt tablet.
Salt is odorless.
You find a smell?
Enough to bowl me over. But not quite like it bowled Brother Blaine over. Blaine was poisoned, a quick poison to which he reacted almost immediately. $10 says the medical examiner will spell out the text of my diagnosis. Murder. The deputy medical examiner pronounced it death by poison. The murder made big evening headlines and juicy gossip among the tennis set. I had an evening drink with the public relations man, Harry Benton, at Benton's request. We met in a place called the J. Cretan Memorial Club.
I want to engage your professional services, Mr. Craig.
To do what?
Clear up the mystery.
Who murdered Bobby Blaine and why?
Yes.
Well, have some faith in the police.
We want a private operative working in close liaison with us.
We and us. Explain the plural.
Well, sir, I represent the J. Cretan Memorial Tennis Association. You know the name J. Cretan?
Hazily. A champ tennis player once upon a time.
A tennis giant, Mr. Craig. Cretan died in the 20s. He left a $5 million trust fund to endow tennis, encourage and develop young players.
Et cetera, et cetera. It's embarrassing. It's bad public relations. It's a black eye for the J. Cretan Foundation.
Yes. Will you take the job?
I took it 10 minutes ago. I'd love some of the J. Cretan Memorial loot for myself. What have I got against money? Now, orient me. Who in Tennis Society had murderous impulses toward the late Bobby Blaine?
Tennis Society is a world unto itself. Pretty peculiar. You've no idea, Mr. Craig.
You're a guy who just loves talking around the mulberry bush, making with the long-winded preamble. Come on, Benton. Take me inside tennis. I kicked off my investigation with Kurt Kenny. Kenny had a case of nerves.
Look, I'm in no mood for any interrogation.
Nobody ever is.
Some other time, huh?
Murder can't wait.
Oh, yeah, and that murder theory. Ask me, it's a malarkey. You cops always trying to make a dull job look sensational.
Diagnosis, murder. Medical examiner verified it. Poison.
Nobody pried Blaine's jaws open and fed him the poison.
No, but somebody left a pill handy to Blaine's reach between games. A pill Blaine would confuse with the standard energy or salt tablets.
Oh. Is that the autopsy report?
I'm betting it will be.
Well, now, why would anyone poison Blaine?
Why would anybody poison Blaine on a tennis court? And at the exact time it happened?
Is that an oblique dig at me?
You're the only beneficiary to Blaine's death I know, yet.
How am I a beneficiary?
The incident saved you from defeat. I think you wanted to win today, with every fiber in you. And for more reasons than just the title.
Well, now, what other reasons would I...
To stay on top. Be tops with Hilda Hobson. Keep the relationship superheated. If Hilda Hobson had any inhibitions, they weren't showing.
You deserted me there in the stadium.
I'm sorry. A corpse generally has priority.
I suppose you've come to ask me embarrassing questions.
You could just let me read your diary.
Oh, not on your life. Ask your first question.
At the game today, I guessed you to be sour on Kenny and sweet on Bobby Blaine.
Was it so obvious?
And how did Blaine feel? That is, before he lost all feeling.
Very eager for my company.
Very eager to win the title of Mr. Hilda Hobson from Kenny?
I'd half promised Blaine I'd divorce Kurt Kenny, but what dull questions, Mr. Craig.
Sorry. What power do you wield over these young athletes?
I'm worth $5 million, Mr. Craig. My husbands enjoy liberal allowances.
Oh, walking around money. Who and play tennis. Answer me this. What fatal appeal do these young men have for you? Can I get a frank answer?
No, you can't.
Well, then give me a funny answer.
As a girl, I idolized the classic Greek gods. At 50, I still do.
Now, who murdered Bobby Blaine?
I suppose Kurt Kenny, poor deluded boy. As if the removal of Blaine could possibly help him with me.
Would it?
No.
Some other Greek god on the horizon?
One always happens along.
Oh, sure. There are 6 major tournaments before the close of the year. Your young Greek gods, all born poor on the wrong side of the tracks. All crazy to get invited to the best places, using a tennis racket to club their way into society. Oh, it's a nice, vicious circle. Leaving Hilda Hobson's, I didn't quit the grounds of the estate. Not yet. I headed for the garage. The Hobson chauffeur had an apartment over the garage. A chap named Pepe Zaretti. He'd figured in the purple gossip the public relations man Harry Benton had passed along to me. Like his boss lady, Pepe was but totally uninhibited.
Was I once the husband of Hilda? Yes. I had that unforgettable pleasure.
You were a South American tennis title holder once.
I was the best tennis player in the world once.
Until Hilda married you and put you on an allowance.
I have no regrets. It was a charming interlude, our marriage. Guinea hen, champagne, skin diving in Bimini.
Whose idea was it for you to stay on as chauffeur after the divorce?
We arrived at the idea, how you say, simultaneously. Hilda does not love Pepe anymore, but she does not hate me. So I stay to serve her this way, as her good friend and chauffeur.
How's your tennis?
I am fat here in the middle, and here in my wrist, rheumatism.
Very sad. So who poisoned Bobby Blaine?
You want me to answer that?
I'd appreciate it.
Poor Kurt Kenny. How terrible if Pepe Zaretti sent him to the electric chair, huh?
You're saying Kurt Kenny did it?
Yes, I say. I say what I see.
Now, what did you see and where?
Driving to the stadium this morning for the championship finals. I am driving Kurt Kenny. We have stopped to give Bobby Blaine a lift.
Cozy. The opposition riding to the battle together.
No, it's a courtesy. Blaine's car is broken down. He's stranded on the highway as we pass.
Go on.
Well, in the car, I hear with my ears Bobby Blaine saying that he forgot his energy pills, that they are left in the dashboard compartment of his car. Then I see what I say.
Don't scramble it. Say it.